much.
Very good to see the entire Reconnecting with Your Culture family together.
Exactly. I am very happy for this meeting today. It is very important also to open this important dialogue from Africa and Asia. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you to Dr. Gireesh for initiating this.
I thank from my bottom of the heart for all the organizers, and you are the backbone of this program. And I invite each and everyone formally to this program. Our schedule starts at 10 o'clock. I think we can start right now if I think almost all have joined now. So with the permission of the organizing committee, I would like to start the program officially. The program Reconnecting with Your Culture, which we have planned last month to have a reunion of all the members to share their activities and programs all over the world. And initially we thought we will be meeting everyone like from all the continents. But as we know that there is a time difference between the continents, so we thought of having two continents at least having the same time, so without having any inconvenience to the participants as well as the speakers. So let me introduce, I would like to formally invite each and everyone for this program. And then I formally request Professor Olimpia Niglio to start the program formally. Please.
Thank you so much, Professor Kumar. Good morning, everyone. I thank Professor Kumar for the organization of this important seminar with a specific focus on the dialogue between Africa and Asia. I welcome our new members from Ethiopia and Somalia, and it is a great honor to follow our path with all of you. I thank our president from Indonesia and India for their support in these years. Today, I'd like to introduce to you about our pedagogical program called Reconnecting with Your Culture. This project, this pedagogical program began in 2020, and it is a mission, is a simple get powerful to help young people around the world rediscover their cultural root and express them creativity. Reconnecting with Your Culture was founded by me in collaboration with Kevin Echeverry, Colombian research, and I am an expert. I am a professor at the University of Pavia. I am an expert in history, architectural restoration, and cultural heritage, and also I am a member of ICOMOS, that is an important part of UNESCO organization. The main vision of Reconnecting with Your Culture is to create a space where students and teachers could explore their tradition, history, and local culture and the local environment, not just as passive observers, but as active narrators of their heritage. So now we have many countries around the world that were in the school applied our pedagogical program. For example, Italy, Japan, Indonesia, Colombia, Morocco, Nigeria, Mexico, Brazil, Poland, Argentina. But now we wish you have many countries also with many students around the world. We encourage the students and also the local teacher to valorize the cultural, the local culture and all traditions, music, digital media also, etc. It is a great honor for me also to share some important projects that we have realized in these last years. In particular, we have realized an intercontinental digital exhibition with over 9,000 artwork created by children from around the world, image that reach of the tapestry so many voices, so many perspectives, all united by a shared desire to understand and celebrate their roots. But reconnecting with your culture is more than just an art project. This is a movement that promoted active citizen in a dialogue with local culture. By learning about our culture, students become more, and students have more opportunity to know, but also to understand the importance of their culture. And also this allows them to establish a very important dialogue with other culture, with other people. Reconnecting with your culture also aligns with the United Nations Agenda 2030 for sustainability development, particularly in the areas of inclusive education and cultural preservation is very important. It is a reminder that culture is not just about the past, but is a living, breathing part of our identity and our future. Now I am very happy to share an interesting opportunity realized in this October 2025 with the students and the teacher from Indonesia and Japan. Students from Indonesia visited Amakusa last week, and they shared the music and art with local communities. This year, also in March, another important international seminar will take place in Lomello, Italy, was promoted by Magnani Foundation in collaboration with the University of Pavia, and together professors from Poland, Japan, and India. These events show how reconnecting with your culture builds bridges across borders using culture, and because the culture is an universal language. Now we are working very hard also to organize our next important exhibition, Intercontinental exhibition in Japan, especially in Tokyo and Sapporo, that will take place in a different museum from January and March 2026. It is a wonderful opportunity to connect all students and the teacher with other culture and to learn and contribute to a global dialogue. In conclusion, reconnecting with your culture reminds us that culture is not something distant or abstract. It is in our history, our buildings, our songs, and our celebration. By reconnecting with it, we not only learn where we come from, but we also discover who we are. Thank you so much for joining us and for building with the whole of us a better future for our common house. I am sure that the culture will save the world. and together we can. Now, I wish you a good seminar today, and I hope to meet you very soon. Please participate in our next exhibition in Japan and with your students, because it is very important to promote the culture as a very important instrument for the dialogue and for the peace in the world. Thank you so much, and my best wishes today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Professor Olimpia, for your introductory talk, and we are all enriched with your talk and the activities of RWYC all over the world. And let me start with the first presentation, as we have all the esteemed speakers from different parts of the continent, Africa and Asia, like Dr. Assefa Tefera Dibaba from Ethiopia, and Dr. Mira Sartika from Indonesia, and also Abdiwahab Ahmed Ali from Somalia, and Professor Rana P from India, and also Aditi Misra from RWYC India, along with Ms. Ridu Arora and Mamda Kumar from India. So we, on behalf of RWYC Organizing Committee, I formally welcome once again all the esteemed speakers and also the participants for this international virtual symposium, Reconnecting with Your Culture, Africa, Asia, hosted by University of Pavia. I'm taking my privilege to start our program, the official programs, with the first speaker, Dr. Assefa. So who will be speaking about the children's culture, envisioning sustainable community and environment. The presentation will explore how children's culture expressions, like through play, stories, traditions, and everyday life, offer new perspective for constructing sustainable communities and environments. Also, the role of children as proactive cultural agents, linking childhood culture with ecological consciousness and social responsibility, and envisioning innovative pathways towards inclusive and sustainable futures, and all the other activities in Ethiopia. I would formally request Dr. Assefa to come and join with us and share your experience, and the floor is for you. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? You hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Right. So there are, a little bit of disconnections actually. So I hope you hear me. My name is Assefa Tefera Dibaba. I come from Oromia, Ethiopia. This is part of the Northeast Africa. I have just forwarded my PowerPoint to Dr. Kumar, and I hope in a second he is going to share with us my
Sure.
PowerPoint.
I'll share.
Right. So let me take first this opportunity actually to thank Professor Olimpia and Dr. Kumar actually, for the invitation. It's a great opportunity, a golden opportunity, I would say, to get this chance. And I would also like to congratulate, esteemed attendees, the ambassadors of culture from Africa and Asia and elsewhere. There are attendees, in the world to attend this symposium. So, like it is said, I'm going to talk for the coming 20 minutes, I think. I got here 10 slides. And as a background, let me say a few words. What most resonates with me when I think about reconnect with your culture is about this reconnection, reconnecting with culture, reconnecting with past, which was initially, declared by most African scholars of culture and literary giants like Chinua Achebe, who believed, the path toward the future is via the past. And Achebe is also well known for saying, let's extol our tradition with all its imperfections. Let's bring it to the present, into the curtain. Then we can select what is significant, meaning what the society believes in, what the society most, values most, and relevant. So let's bring it back, and then let's see it at the present. All right. So let's install our tradition with all its imperfections, so that we just see it in the present, then throw away, what's not relevant in the present, and what is not thought to be significant, he said. So the other political theoretician is was well known for his return to the source. Let's return to the source. That is, back to the African, pre-colonial independent development, back to the African way of thinking, back to the African, worldview, the pre-colonial worldview. So those are, I think, there are those thoughts are actually yeast for us, as young poets, myself being a poet, eco-poet, I would say. And the other eco-poet, like myself, is Ken Saro-Wiwa of the Niger Delta, who was executed, in 1990s for his widely accepted, among the Ogoni people in the Niger Delta River State, where giant oil corporations and dominant powers, which we might call eco-colonialism, who were extracting the resources of oil, but do not really care much about the community living in the area. So this idea of reconnecting with your culture is the basis for for us, for scholars here, who as who allege to share common understanding, common philosophy, and the belief that culture is our common space, a landscape, to work towards children's right, to work toward children's quality education, to work towards empowering children, because I trust that we all believe the future of a quality society is determined by its children. So that is what I really try to prepare actually in those 10 slides, which I believe Dr. Kumar will share soon. Dr. Kumar, you got it? You got the PowerPoint?
Would you like to share from my side?
Oh, sure. Or if you want me actually to, yeah, I can.
I can do it. I can do it. No problem.
Right. So it's okay. I can just take your time. So in the outline here, I say introduction, children's culture, where I focus on just highlight on what children's culture is, and then the second, traditional African childhood, from an African perspective, what is child and what's childhood, and the third, children and sustainability in African context, for envisioning sustainable community and environment, and then finally I say a few words. So, from traditional African perspective, what's a child? So the notion of child is, a child is, from African context, actually child is not just a subject. not just a biological, being. A child is someone whom we believe, through a process, come to be somebody. It's not just someone. So not just a person, but someone. Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. So I can, everyone can see it, right?
So, would you like to start from the beginning, or maybe I can stop
That's
somewhere in
the
the middle?
introduction, right?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, thank you. Right. So a child is, particularly, from an Oromo perspective, the Oromo are believed to be, a single largest ethno nation in Northeast Africa. So even if the society, has distinct cultures, which is, divided into, different regions and all this. So from religious perspective, from different ecological perspective, and settlings and all these, different groups among the Oromo also can have different understandings toward child. Actually, the Muslim have got their own definition. The Christians have, and all this, and the Wakefata. So, but there are some common understandings. That is, every child, from Oromo perspective in Africa, is everybody's child. That means the underlying philosophy when it comes to about rearing children is the responsibility, the social responsibility of everyone in the community, everyone in the society. So we all understand that. I think African perspective is communalistic, versus the Western individualistic perspective. So this communality is instilled in culture. The other one is actually when we talk about the children's culture, it is something that is to be overseen by the group, by the community, by the elders. Children are not just to be left on their own. So their experiences, their learnings, their practices that shape their later behavior as an adult is much more interfered by the community. So the materials they make, or materials that are made for them to play with, are not just really to be seen as such by the children on their own. For example, songs, stories, riddles, and dances to be performed are not really as such created by children themselves, but these are something, as we all share actually understand, these are to be transferred from generation to generation through cultural transmissions to the children. So the songs, the stories, the riddles, and they got something in common with the environment. They got something to tell, something related to animals, something related to, mountains, something related to, rivers and the plants in the area actually. So it's not just song per se. The story told to children is not just story per se. So, and the children stories and songs and their culture, they help to ensure the balanced, sustainable community and environment. They are believed not just to entertain the children, but they are also instructional in a way. So they are also source of interdependence. The children's culture are believed to be source of interdependence between ecologically friendly behavior and child-friendly environment. I will say a few words about what it means by ecologically friendly behavior and the child environment, friendly environment later. So next slide, please. The next slide, Dr. Kumar. Next slide.
I have changed it. I have changed it, but I think it's not visible from your side. Are you able to see the next slide?
Oh,
Yes, we're able to see.
me.
Okay.
Oh, sure.
Oh,
Sure.
yeah. Okay. I think it takes a little more time. Okay.
Back to number 2, please. Oh, yeah, sure. Right. So the traditional African child, like I said, not just a subject, but it is a subject not reached biological and social maturity. There are some shared views about how children should be treated and not to be treated. So a child is believed to be, not a product, but the process of, cycles of life. There is the Oromo Gada institution, which there are Gada grades. A child born, then the newly born is categorized in a certain Gada grade, which is 0 to 8, is called the Balle. So there are some expectations, from this child who is not older than 8 years of age. So from 0 to 8 is called the Balle. From 9 to 16 is called Gamme. So it goes on and on, up to like 18 years of age or so. So someone from birth through, the process of these rights of age, what we call the whole age of a person is divided into 8 years of grades. So the child or the person who is growing to become, an adult has to come through all the cycles of life. So it starts from 0 to 8, 9 to 8, 16, 7 to 24, and then goes on and on. So the notion of a childhood is specific to a culture, like I said, but still the adult is the yardstick or the standard, all right? So what's expected of a child when he becomes, an adult is already there are certain rules and roles set in the culture, in the Oromo tradition, which is commonly shared among African people at large, I would believe. So it's also a psychological concept, that is the early experience, all right? So the early experience, which determines, the content of the behavior or the character of the child is to be determined by those early experiences. So there are moralities, certain moralities for which our reference point is the culture, what the certain child is expected to do and what not. So there are certain rules and roles, actually do's and don'ts. So, third, next slide, please.
Yes, it is done.
Right. So when we talk about the children's culture, our reference point again is the community, and the community is more important than the individual, like I said. And still, family is the basic, the basic unit. That every child is everybody's child, like I said. So there are certain blessings in the Oromo. So according to these blessings, on a certain rites of passage, for example, or naming ceremony, when the newly born child is to be named, so there are certain blessings. And according to these blessings, which roots in the Oromo worldview, so a certain child is expected, to be somebody who has to do something of a name, for the mankind, for the world as universally, not just for his own, people first. So he says in the Oromo, Lafaf wabai, Namaf wabai, Biyaf wabai, Warraf wabai. That means first when he blesses, then do something of a name for the whole mankind. then for the world, then for the country, then for your nation, then for your people, and then it goes down to then for your community, and at last do something of a name for yourself. And if you fail to do all this, and then you are not a man of your name, you are useless, it means. So this is a kind of, instructional words in the name of blessings on rites of passage. When the father blesses his son, so these are words that he gives, as an instructional instructions to his child. So the idea here is to be a man, not just to be someone. So to be a man means be successful, be brave, be courageous, but be patient and wise. All right. Don't be selfish. Don't be hateful. Don't something who lies. Don't something corrupt. Or don't be someone who says who cares after himself and who says me first, kind of. So all these words added to the early children's culture, they contribute into shaping the personality of this child who's growing to be a man. Next, please. Next slide, please.
Yes.
Dr. Kumar.
Yes, I have done. I have changed the slide, but I think it takes a little more time to visible.
It's right. It's more time actually. Yes. Sorry about that. So yeah, in the guidance and all these cultural instructions added to what children learns from the playground, from peers, and what he learns all the from the folklore, from the stories and riddles. So there are certain social responsibility, certain unity, trust, mutual trust, and harmony and values. All those are incorporated into the culture, into the children's culture actually. So it's all about sharing resources. It's about sharing grass. It's about sharing water. It's about sharing grain more, what have you. It's about sharing burden also, sharing, about cooperation, like cooperative works we call dalla. It's about mutual interdependence and sharing responsibilities after 8 years of age, actually, when he, passes through all those rites of passage after year 8. So there are mutual aid, mutual trust, and caring. There are also knowledges that are transferred actually about the environment, the name of the river, the name of the mountain, the history behind all those, lores behind all these narratives, behind all those nature in the neighborhood, and so and so. So there's about solidarity and harmony and the common good in all those stories and all those songs. So counter or versus the Western worldview where the individual is grows to be autonomous, just an individual who claims his individual right, who claims universality and natural right, who claims international citizenship. So from the African context, one has to really start from where one is. That means one has to really learn first, his culture. Has to be able to count, the genealogy, trace line of his descent, the name and the history behind the mountain or the river next. And so all these are expected from him to become, or to claim to be global citizen, actually. Please, next. The next slide, please. Right. So with all this background, now we come to children and sustainability. All right. So the yeast, the resource is actually the societal culture, the socialization, that the children are expected to grow, close to nature, because natures are sacred. All this, by traditional resource management system. So the land is not just a land. The plant is not just a plant. In the plant, there are some plants are edible. Some plants are medicinal plants. Some plants are used, for construction. Some plants are ritual plants. So in the forest, when we see, so a tree is not just a tree, a plant is not just a plant. So some plants are sacred plants, some trees are sacred. So much so, some sites are sacred sites. Some lands are reserved, for ritual purposes. They are sacred. Some wells and some rivers are sacred. So our children, they grow with all this background, and so the idea of sustainability is enlisted into them through stories and through all these, cultural resources. So which fosters their identity, which is believed to foster also their language and personality and their character or behavior. So let's ask, whose real role is it to instill sustainability in children? All right. So first, family, schools, scholars, institutions, and the policy makers. First, the family and the community. So the social and the cultural settings. So the community and the family, they facilitate for cultural settings, like for naming ceremonies, like for rites of passage, which are quite close to nature, which usually happen near rivers, which usually happen near mountain foots, actually. So all those social settings are to be facilitated for children by their family and their community, in their lineage. The purpose is to help them understand the social norms, the gender roles and rules, and roles in age sets, and orientations on communication styles, to also build their, emotional expressions and performances, cultural performances, and all this, and also to help them develop a strong sense of belonging and care towards, their fellow people, and care towards the immediate environmental milieu. So there is this 7 generations principle of sustainability, actually, in the Oromo worldview, according to which is whatever decision we now make at present, we make it on behalf of 7 generations to come, which is the basic idea of sustainability that we share, actually, which is in sustainability is trying to fulfill the need of the present people, while we do not harm, the needs of people in the future. So children are expected to, to be abide by this principle of caring for 7 generations to come. So schools, media, and museums also got some roles. That is, they're source of culture, like, for example, artifacts, holiday or festivals, TV shows, children books, and early, childhood education. All these, they influence how children learn and grow. So this shapes also their worldview about their community and about nature. So the common methodology actually should be, or is, the culturally responsive teaching method, which connects children's experience, children's culture to the classroom teaching, so to foster, empathy and appreciation and respect towards each other, towards their community, and also toward nature. So there is also eco-literacy, which in Oromo education system, they have already begun, some subjects like they call it Gada, they call it Safu, about ethics and morality, how children should behave and should act, towards people and towards their nature. So eco-literacy is the first step towards sustainability to help understand relationship between humanities and human ways of life and their ecosystems around them. So who is an eco-literate person? So having said that, eco-literacy is to be incorporated, in the early education system, then we expect the child to become eco-literate person. So what are the qualities of an eco-literate person? He is one who identifies the root causes of environmental problems, okay, and wrong assumptions. What are the wrong assumptions? And one who takes measure to address, those root causes. So an eco-literate person is expected to be one who translates the awareness, into conscious efforts to lessen, those negative impacts. And, the relationship between the healthy relationship, the just relationship between man and nature. So what are the roles of scholars, the legal bodies, and the policymakers? So to rule how the society should or should not view and treat children, example, exploiting children's labor, for example, abuses, for example, early marriages, for example, forced marriages, and all these are to be overseen and cared for, through, scholarly discussions, by legal actions and by policymakers and all this. So, and the purpose is actually to lay fertile ground for integrated thinking about sustainability in children from early on. So next slide, please. Right. So, well, yeah. So when we envision sustainable community and environment, so we need to share some common understandings about ecosystem, also from the African perspective and generally, actually. So ecosystem is biological community of organisms, which we can put it into biotic, the living things, and abiotic, the non-living things like water, air, and soil. And humans as integral part of ecosystem impacted negatively or positively. So the ecosystem is sustainable if it can support life without outside help. So changes to abiotic, the pollution of water, air, or soil can affect sustainability. So changes to biotic, like loss of species, can affect sustainability. So the cultural ecology, all right, to save the ecosystem, we can dip into the cultural ecology, the local knowledge, and the indigenous practices which people use, to balance the unjust man and nature relationship. So the relationship between people and their environment has to be, in a way that is abided by, the morality, the ethics, which we call the eco-theology. The society have got their own moral ways of, what to do and what not to do, actually, in terms of man-nature relationship. So when we talk about the cultural ecology, we talk about the physical environment that influences culture, and the cultures that also influences, the physical environment. So, for example, the farming, the mechanized farming that we observe today has totally changed, the culture of the people, the way they used to farm, the way they used to, disperse the seed, the way they, weed, the way they harvest, and all these have been changed, as a result of the technology. So the culture that the community used to share, about their environment has become, totally disrupted through the advancement of mechanized farming and all this. Next, please.
Dr. Assefa, sorry for the inconvenience. I would request you to wind up the session by another 1 or 2 minutes as we are running short of the time.
Right, thank you. Yeah, I've just come to the conclusion. So, why children's culture? So, this is the basic question actually. So, for children, why is it significant after all? So, it's a strong sense of belonging. The children are, expected to develop a strong sense of belonging, identity, language, social norms, respect towards each other, respect towards, the community. So sharing values and developing, empathy. It also helps the children to develop ecologically friendly behavior. So what's ecologically friendly behavior? Reducing waste, for example. They see the community, and so if the community are abided by, ecologically friendly behavior, so that's what they see, that's what they learn, that's what they practice. They grow to, they grow up to do like their community, or they become critique of what they see. So reducing waste. Ecologically friendly behavior is about reusing or recycling, about, conserving energy, like, for example, turning off the light or the electronics while you are not using it. So choosing sustainable transportation like biking or walking, and making conscious choices, like instead of using plastic bags, using the paper bags and all this. So it helps them to identify what a child-friendly environment is. A child-friendly environment is safe, secure, clean, is one that supports also the child's physical, emotional, and cognitive development. So children's culture also helps the parents and the community to identify the cultural factors that affect children's behavior and character as they grow, all right? So for the educators, it can serve as a resource, all right? And for policymakers also to influence policies that ensure sustainability. And for lawmakers and the children's rights groups, to identify also criminal and legal activities and abusive behaviors and exploitative actions. So with this, we come to the end, and then through question and answer, I will have some time to come back to you. Thank you, Dr. Kumar. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Assefa, for sharing the activities and experience as part of your RWYC initiative in Ethiopia. They are unique activities, we could see that, but truly commendable. And also, as you point out, that the early experience, which always makes a difference to make the younger generation so confident, and also to make them behave like brave, courage, and patient also. So thank you so much for wonderful activities which are going on. I would request, as we are running short of time, I would request our esteemed next speaker, Dr. Mira Sartika. She is from RWYC Indonesia. The
Thank
presentation will highlight the experience from RWYC Indonesia in leading cultural workshop with children and youth, as well as collaborations on cultural mission and conferences in Italy and Japan. And she'll be talking about the building identity through cultural workshop in Indonesia, sharing lessons across Asia and Africa. This talk will be aims to foster greater dialogue on enhancing intercultural understanding. And as we know that we could see the pictures and the activities which are going on in association with RWYC Japan during the same month on October 15 to 21, called Amukkusa. So I think we will be happy to get input from Dr. Mira. So I would request Dr. Mira Sartika to share her slide and have her presentation. The floor for you now.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Kumar. I'm so sorry my voice is lost because I just got back from Japan. But I will just to sort the time, I will share my presentation.
I would request also to you to see the timings while presentation. So as we
Okay.
have remaining presentations and we need to wind up by 5.
Okay.
Thank you.
I share my presentation by myself.
Sure.
Anyone can see?
We can see, but in a minimized mode. So if you could make it as a landscape, so that could be better.
Okay. Wait a moment.
Fine. Now it's
My
perfect.
presentation. Perfect. Okay. My presentation is building identity through a culture workshop in Indonesia. Through every story, song, and workshop, culture becomes an important and impactful way to build identity and prepare children for a harmonious future. This is in accordance also with Reconnecting with Your Culture international goals. Then my content of presentation is preface, RWYC Indonesian activities, and so on. The first is, it is my honor to share Indonesia's journey in building identity through culture workshop. This symposium bringing together Asia and Africa carries deep historical meaning for us. Since I'm living in Bandung, in 1955, the Asia-Africa Conference was held in Bandung, in my city. It was not only a political milestone, but solidarity and cooperation, but also a cultural moment. Bandung became a symbol of unity, dignity, and the belief that culture and identity are vital in shaping nations. That spirit continues today. Asia and Africa share long-standing cultural ties, from trade and migration to shared tradition of storytelling, music, spirituality, and community life. This cultural connection reminds us that our roots are intertwined and that cultural identity is a bridge, not a barrier. Our work with Culture Workshop in Indonesia is inspired by this legacy, just as the Bandung Conference sought to reclaim dignity and self-determination. Our cultural programs aim to empower children and communities to see culture as strength, resilience, and a source of shared identity across the nation, as in accordance with RWYC Reconnecting with Your Culture goals. Reconnecting with Culture Indonesia has conducted more than 20 culture workshops, joined international culture mission to Italy and Japan, and actively collaborated with the Ministry of Culture and local organizations. Through this initiative, we empower children and youth as culture ambassadors, showing that culture is not only heritage but also a force for building identity, resilience, and harmony across nation. About Reconnecting with Your Culture Indonesia was officially established in 2021 through an appointment letter from Reconnecting with Your Culture International. Since then, we have conducted more than 20 culture workshops across the country, from Aceh to Papua, and organized culture mission to Italy, as well as 3 international culture conferences in collaboration with Reconnecting with Your Culture International. This initiative have resulted in the formation of more than 400 young culture ambassadors who proudly represent Indonesia's diversity. Our work is supported by collaboration with local organizations and the Ministry of Education and Culture. Now, the Ministry of Culture will strengthen the impact of our program nationwide. Our program impact children and youth gain confidence and pride in their cultural identity. As we seen in Japan last week, the children very confident to introduce their own local culture to the Japanese people. More than 400 young ambassadors have built networks that connect local tradition to global audiences. Our cultural diplomacy efforts have brought Indonesian voices to international stages, fostering friendship and understanding. Lesson learned that we have from our workshop is children and youth are naturally cultural bridges. When given trust, training, and opportunities, they represent the nation with authenticity and warmth. This that we see by ourselves in Italy and also in Japan, when they have to introduce their local culture without really training from us, they naturally become bridges. Collaboration between communities, organization, and government is essential to sustain cultural education. Then the last one is cultural workshop are not only about performance, but about building identity, resilience, and harmony for the future. Our workshop sometimes just presentation about the knowledge about the culture, let's say the food, the traditional house, the traditional clothing, not only about the performance. This is a cultural workshop that we already conducted, online workshop Rumahku Budayaku in 2021 until 2023. Aku dan Warisan Budayaku in 2022. At school, offline, also we conducted a workshop in Cirebon, in the junior high school 1 Kedawung in Cirebon, West Java. And 2024, abroad workshop, Culture Mission to Italy. We joined a culture mission to Italy, visiting Lucca and Rome to take part in World Children's Day at the invitation of Reconnecting with Culture International. This mission showcased Indonesia's rich heritage on a global stage, with young culture ambassadors sharing their traditions, stories, and creativity with peers from around the world. This is the last week we do in Culture Mission to Japan, art exhibition, culture exchange, and dissemination in Amakusa. The Culture Mission is a collaborative initiative between Reconnecting with Your Culture Japan and Indonesia, promoting friendship and mutual learning through art and cultural dialogue. The program includes an art exhibition, culture performances and workshop, and also FGDs and culture dissemination and youth collaboration. Held in Amakusa, this mission strengthening cross-cultural understanding and foster long-term cooperation between the two nations. This is the picture when we do performance in Amakusa, in the community there, in the image of the community in Amakusa. The children of Japan using white clothing, and our children from Indonesia, it's in front using various traditional clothing from various provinces in Indonesia. This is our story. The picture number 1 is from Olimpia. Actually, the summary of our. This is the home. The home is very traditional. In this home, we learn about the traditional home of Japan. We are not living in the hotel. We stay in the traditional home in Japan together. We know how they live. And the third picture is when we go to the cultural art center. We do a porcelain making with the workshop in the cultural center in Amakusa. This is the sort of our activities in Japan last week, but actually the video maybe I will share to Olimpia and will share to all the RWYC network around the world. In addition to the workshop, we also use research and training based on culture. This is a 3-hour research and training based on culture. There is a Kawah Pandu leadership training based on culture. Number 2 is motherhood training, Sekolah Indung in West Java, Indonesia. And the last one is culture science extracurricular. This is most important. Number 3 is how to join, how to connect together culture and science. So culture is not really the past. This is guided the future through science. I think this is the last one that we built now in Indonesia. Lesson learned that we take key takeaways that from our activities is culture as identity and resilience, empower children, youth, and mothers, strengthen the cultural roots, they sustain communities across continents. Blended methods work best. We do offline workshop, deepen connection to local heritage, while online platform open cross-border cultural learning between region, nation, even between continent like Asia and Africa we do today. Collaboration nurture peace and solidarity. Culture exchange between Asia and Africa, such as those involving Indonesia and RWYC network, reaffirm the Bandung spirit, building friendship, empathy, and mutual understanding through culture. Tradition and innovation also, it's needed to make a culture advancement, linking culture with education, health, and creativity, transform heritage into shared solution for today's challenges. In conclusion, our experience in Indonesia shows that culture is not only a memory of the past, but a living force that shapes our shared future. From the Bandung spirit of 1955 to today's cultural workshop, community training, and youth mission, we continue the journey of building dignity, solidarity, and identity through culture, together with Reconnecting with Your Culture International. By empowering children as cultural ambassadors, mother as cultural transmitters, and youth as the creative innovators, we reaffirm that cultural identity is a foundation for both resilience and cooperation. These experiences linking tradition with innovation and local wisdom with global friendship reflect the essence of culture diplomacy and vision in Indonesia's cultural policy. As we connect Asia and Africa once again through initiatives like Reconnecting with Your Culture, great thank you to Professor Olimpia. Let us revive the spirit of Bandung, that culture is our common language, and through it we can nurture peace, sustainability, and mutual understanding among nations. May the stories, songs, and smiles of our children continue to inspire Asia and Africa collaboration for a more human and culturally intelligent world. Culture is our shared path to build the future together in harmony. Thank you very much. That's all my presentation for today.
Thank you very much, Dr. Mira, for your wonderful activities and your cultural association with within Indonesia as well as with the other countries like Japan and Italy. Thank you so much, and I would request the other speakers. I think we can have a discussion in the chat box as we need to respect the schedule. So I would request Mr. Abdiwahab Ahmed Ali, RWYC from Somalia, as we know that he is one of the youngest members of RWYC. And he will be talking about healing through heritage, reconnecting Somali communities post-civil war. So this presentation explores how Somalia is reclaiming its cultural heritage as a means for healing, reconciliation, and rebuilding national identity after years of conflict. And he will be also, I think he is also associated with Hayan Heritage and the RWYC Somali chapter, which lead efforts such as heritage preservation, festivals, tours, and education to promote dialogues, unity, and empowerment. So this initiative not only restore identity and peace, but also serve as a model for post-conflict recovery and resilience. So I would also request Mr. Ali, please try to keep your presentation within 20 minutes to stay on schedule. So this platform for yours now.
Thank you, Dr. Kumar. And I would like to, before anything else, I would like to thank my colleagues, Reconnecting with Your Culture Global Network. Especially, I would like to thank you, Dr. Kumar and Dr. Olimpia, for your commitment, realizing this interesting gathering to happen. So I would like to share with you Somalia's experience. Although we are new in the network, but I would like to at least share some of our. I have a problem with moving the slides. Could you please help me? Can
yes,
you?
please, yes, we can see the slide.
Okay, but I need to move. I have a problem. Sorry.
It's okay. Yes, it's moving.
Is it moving?
Yeah, it is the national context.
Okay. Oh, now. Yes. Now I can see. Thank you. As As you know, we joined this global interesting network back in August this year. So I would like to briefly introduce about why Somalia needs to reconnect with their culture, because in order to understand why we joined this network, you have to at least familiar with the background of what we are dealing now. As you know, Somalia is a country with one of the richest and most enduring cultures in Africa. For centuries, Somali people have been known for poetry, music, oral storytelling, and strong social values. Our culture is a thread that has held communities together through history, even in the times of hardship and change. But decades of civil war and foreign influence created a deep cultural disconnection. This kind of disconnection didn't start during the civil war, as I will discuss later. Many young Somalis, especially those who born after the war, including me, grow up without access to their heritage. Today, a new movement bringing that connection bringing that connection back, using heritage as a bridge to peace and healing identity. There is a national-wide movement using culture as a tool to reconnect, to at least rebuild the nation. So Hayan is part of that kind of movement. The slide is not moving. Okay, now the national context. When Somalia became an independent in 1960, we entered a new chapter full of hope. People were very hopeful about the beginning of their new modern state chapter. However, the new modern government system was very different from our traditional way of life, which was based on clans and customary laws. One of these customary laws was inscribed to UNESCO last year, December. This change created convention and weakened the social system that had guided Somali life for generations. Over time, political problems, civil wars, foreign fanatic ideology related to the religion, much of what made Somali identity strong. Archives, heritage sites, and cultural centers were lost during the civil war. Millions of people were forced to leave their homes. New generation grew up far from their roots, unsure of its own identity. This became not only political crisis, but a cultural one. They lost the sense of belonging and the meaning of life. So it was very, very, very sad thing. After that, recently we established an initiative called Hayan Heritage, which was found to respond the problem I talked. Hayan was founded to rebuild this kind of connection. It's a cultural heritage organization that works to protect and promote Somali heritage, to reconnect communities with their roots, to help people find healing and pride through culture. In Hayan, we created a vision called Somali Sumat Umadedle, which means Somali with a strong national identity. We believe that culture is not only about remembering the past, but it's about building a strong and peaceful future. A nation that knows its identity can stand together, as you know, make progress and recover from any challenges. Since then, we started small projects. Intentionally, we went to reconnect the Somali people to their culture. One of these projects was Jalad. During the civil war, before the civil war, Somalis used to have their own unique way of reciting Quran. Yes, Somalis are 100% Muslim. Most of them, they are Muslim. They have, and they are a conservative community. So they used to have, in order to reconnect them with their original culture, you have to at least ignite their spirit. So we started, one of our first initiatives was a Jalad project, which brought back the Somalia's old Quranic recitation style. This kind of melodic and peaceful way of reciting was once common across Somali regions, but was forgotten over time due to the prox ideologies. Its revival helped people feel proud again of faith expression that's uniquely Somalia. It reminded us, it reminded us that religion and culture are not in conflict. They can live together in harmony and reflect our true identity. This was a successful project. People welcomed us because it was something reconnected with their culture. Then we started a cultural revival in practice. Hayan has carried out many programs to help Somalis to reconnect with their culture in practical ways and in a smart approach. For example, in 2025 alone, we organized a heritage tours in historical cities like Barawe and Mogadishu. The one in Barawe was in June. We help young people to rediscover their history. In order to rediscover their history, we make something very smart, because people are not aware of the essence of their heritage, the significance of the city, most of them. So we marked this year the anniversary, the 518th anniversary of Portuguese invention of Barawe, the city. We shared them a short video documentary about the Battle of Barawe between the local community and the Portuguese. Then we took them to visit the actual battlefields to at least to feel it, to understand what that history means. We also we try to reconnect people to their culture through music. For example, we organized at that time music, a kind of Sufi music, which I will explain later. The tour reminded young participants that Somali courage, resistance, and unity have deep-rooted in the history of our community. We also revived, as I mentioned, Islamic Sufi music, which is part of Somali culture that had been overlooked for many years. This music connects people spiritually and emotionally, and shows that art is a part of our faith and identity. Following this revival, we are now we prepared the Mogadishu. We are now preparing the Mogadishu Music Festival, which will be held on 18th and 19th December this year. The festival will bring artists and community together to celebrate Somali music, poetry, and dance. This event will not only entertain, they are ways of rebuilding pride and remembering that our art is our collective memory. In Haiyan, we also worked with schools and youth organizations to make culture part of everyday education. We organized storytelling sessions, lectures, and creative workshops to help students understand that culture is not something for the past. It's living and belonging to them. In August, as you know, we joined the global Reconnecting With Your Culture movement as becoming the official RWYC Somali chapter. Through Reconnecting With Your Culture, we share knowledge with other nations, as we are doing now. Give Somali youth a chance to learn from a global experience, teaching them that reconnecting people, especially young people, with their culture helps build a stronger and more peaceful community. In Somalia, we have taken this message to heart by creating programs that turn heritage learning into real community, real. One of the programs we are planning in the upcoming months is bi-monthly heritage site cleaning. Each 2 months, students and youth will visit historical sites, for example, a certain historical site, to clean and learn about them. Before they start cleaning, there will be a local expert who will explain the history of the site. This project teaches young people to respect and protect the heritage. It's not like only a cleaning duty. It's a kind of teaching them smartly. Because when they understand and learn the sense and significance of this site, and then they are starting to clean, it's something shows that a kind of ownership. They learn, and at the same time they feel ownership because it's something they belong to. The other things we are planning now is reconnecting students with their culture. In partnership with Elais School, one of the esteemed schools in the Mogadishu, the capital city of the country, this activity will include children aged between 5 all the way to 18 years old. They will join activities like storytelling, Somali art, and traditional games, and visiting historical sites. For us, visiting the remain of historical sites is something very important, especially the tangible heritage, because it's something very overlooked, something which faces at this time critical destruction, because many renovation projects are in process. Many historical sites are being distracted. So we are actively responding. This kind, we are trying to teach the young generation this tangible heritage. We're also working with teaching young generation, especially students, with intangible heritage. But we are the priority now. The priority we made now is the tangible ones in order to revive it. This goal is to help children grow up proud of their culture. Working with the community and diaspora, Hayan Heritage, and Reconnecting With Your Culture Somali chapter work both local and local communities and Somali diaspora. There are millions of Somali diaspora who forcibly displaced the country and live abroad. Many Somalis abroad want to reconnect with their heritage, but do not know where to start and where to find where they start that kind of reconnecting. We gave them ways to join projects, visit sites, and learn about their culture. We believe culture belongs to everyone, wherever they live. In conclusion, since our time is up, Somalia's progress depends on remembering who we are. Rebuilding roads and buildings is important, yes, but rebuilding our identity is even more important than the other things. Reconnecting with your culture, Somali chapter is working for Somalia with a strong national identity. Our projects from Jalad to Barawe to Mogadishu Music Festival all served one goal: to reconnect Somalis with their culture. A nation that remembers heals. A nation that heals rebuilds. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ali, for showcasing your activities, which are definitely helping the young people to reconnect with our culture roots in Somalia, and I think also with the RWYC global movements. And your program like bi-monthly heritage site cleaning, which definitely make them aware about the significance of the cultural heritage and to feel their belongings to the culture and heritage. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. You're welcome.
And now I would request Professor Rana P.B. Singh from India, as we have heard many lectures and inspiring awakening programs and activities from his side. So I would request Professor Rana P.B. Singh to share his activities, experiences, and knowledge for awakening the youth in association with RWYC program and Smith Memorial School in Varanasi. Sir, please.
Let me share my PPT.
Sure.
Can you see my slides?
It is processing.
It is seen or not?
It is processing. Yes, it has come now.
Oh, okay. Let me. Okay, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. In fact, whatever I am doing, there is a story behind that. This is invisible spirit behind all this movement. Writing since last 5 years, working very closely with under the spirit and guidance of Olimpia Niglio. And that's how that this program started as a model school to test our whole ideology and system. The school is called Smith School. So here is the basic thing what we started philosophically. This is all together. This is myself and Olimpia together. So what we said very simply that what two colleagues from Somalia and Ethiopia, they have mentioned that we tried to see how locality and universality, it means holiness, humanity, and holiness, sublimity, meet together through the deeply rooted, what we coin this word, deeply rooted education. And that attempt is envisioning education for life, education through life, and education throughout life. So that is the basic, you can say, footpath what we have followed. And then our conclusion coming to that is that how we can move that. Let our culture be a vital force to feel God. It is not in a strict sense of religious sense, but in a cosmic frame, in all life forms. So whatever educational program we are going to deal with, we have to always take those ideas in that perspective. And the frame is, the past is there to inspire, the future is somewhere in dreams, the present is here to act. So this way, that example. This is the way we have selected that school, and we have very strong result. And that was just, you can say, something miracle. That they were doing all these things since last 20 years. And by chance, I met, they invited me, and then we get a collaboration. This school was founded in 1958 by two visionary teachers, William Henry Smith and his wife, Cecilia Rose Smith, who devoted their life just to start educational system based on the cultural heritage, awakening of the people, and children may carry something, a deep character. That was the idea. And that's why this school is unique in the city of Varanasi or in the whole region. So just to give you an impression. This is the way that journey started on the 2nd October 2021. That is a very special day. That is called that is a UN declared Day of Non-Violence. We say celebration in the honor of Father of Nation Mahatma Gandhi. And this school has started a tradition. They call it the Dadi Dada Day. It means old parents, especially grandfather and grandmothers, to be honored on that particular day. And that's why I was invited there as old guy, and then this relationship developed. So just to give you an idea that whatever work was going on, they were doing in a closed circuit. Now it is open for all, and this way we are testing all out circle construction. So we have 5-6 teachers involved there, but there is one coordinator, that is Rakhi Verma. Principal is here is photo you can see, Anita Pauline Day, She has got training in international programs. She is already experienced in different parts of the world under education program, children program, psychological development, so many things. So that's how it is going to work like this. So giving you just impression quickly. So our main focus for MOU, what we did, that how the local culture can be tried to perceive, practice, to develop unity of the knowledge. So it is from locality to universality. So you have to learn from the local and then you can put in the international level, or you can say universal level, in terms of values, in terms of carrying the tradition, and in terms of the human services. So this was something like specific themes that were discussed under the MOU, specific intercultural seminars, specific training for the educators and students involving in the activities. So direct they should be part of that. It is nothing like only lecture by great scholars. No, let the children may come and other can just support. So this was in other reverse side. We have tried to do this, and then periodic meetings to know and evaluate that what progress is done now. So there are three levels. One is the educational program. Second is what after learning all this they do in their own area, in the field, in the home, or in their own society. And other is that how they are going to conceive, perceive, and understand the cultural heritage, both tangible, intangible, both. So always that program is going on. So this you can say that whatever educational whole system or time frame is, it is about 25% for this thing and the other. So you can say formal education, informal education going together in this program. The basic theme is put like this in theoretical side. It is called Panchatattva. Panch means five. And today, according to our lunar calendar, the day is 5. I am speaking as a fifth speaker. That is also 5. So what a good, wonderful coincidence, all these things with it. This punch is defined like this. Preservance, A, attitude, N, nurture, C, compassion, H, honesty. These are the 5 pillars on which this whole RWYC theoretical construction or philosophy going to be tested there. And always they cite in their ethos as a motto, nurturing young mind to create the harmonious future. It is nothing like that, get only degree or diploma or training. More than that, you have to create a real human being like that. So these are some of the perspective what are already during 5 years they are dealing with. So let me just give you a short view. We are preparing the detailed report for a research paper also that will be published by next year. So those who are interested, they can consult that. Fostering culture through language and literature. When you say language, it starts from the dialect, then the regional language. Then you can say, you know, in India, there are 20 such standard languages, what is already authorized by government of India. Okay, there are students of different culture speaking language. So how to understand the cultural roots? That is one. Fostering culture through festival and traditions. We have about at least 6-7 types of calendars, but several of the important pan-India level festivals, they all meet at the same point. So that is the link to understand this. This is one. The second aspect to understand, what does it mean? What we can learn from there, what we can share from there. So cultural awareness among the children about the whole tradition, what two of our colleagues just now mentioned, that how our ancient culture and tradition to be linked to the modern. So it is just like making the bridge between two old and new. So from, you can say, ancient to modernity and making the proper bridge. This way the custom, cross-cultural understanding, community programs, family labor programs under this aspect. Role of music and dance in fostering culture. That is quite very important, and children can easily follow that, they learn that. And in that, even the technology is added. The modern types of system, apps developed. So how that can be linked to the root, that is another aspect. Role of art and craft in fostering culture in student. Traditional painting, weaving and textile, pottery and clay modeling. Let me here add you that these are nothing like only just teaching course. All these are part of the practical things. So every day something is going on. Suppose they are teaching today or some lecture or some show has been based on the exhibition that this type of textile thing coming from the root, then how they can learn from their own family. And the next week, they can come with a small piece of cloth with that design, etc. This is the way learning, experiencing, and what we call co-sharing, that is the idea. Role of history and heritage in fostering culture in children. What happened that always in terms of old courses, we call it bookish knowledge. Now, not like that. Through exhibition, through video, through seminar, and then through the original sources rather than the counter sources. So that is a wonderful attempt done by the school under the guidance of very enlightened principal Anita Day, that she thought like this and already running such courses. So that is another. The role of values and ethics in fostering culture in students. Why something is very important. What are the cultural values? How you can use in your life to be happy, harmonious, and peacefully enjoy the life. So that can be linked like that. That's like I have cited one example, Dada Dadi Day. It's Grandfather's and Grandmother's Day on the 2nd of October. So every student has to carry some messages from their Dada Dadi, grandfather and grandmother, and they are also attending there. I attended 3 times during the last 5 years. 3 times I also attended that. They can meet and exchange this idea. This is one of the things what we call is sanskar. Right of the passage started from family and then it is going on in the school. So that is values and ethics. Making children culturally sound, role of food and clothing. So generally, what happened that we think that this is the tasty food. No, you can also respect other and try to learn how to taste it. What is the value behind that? So that is another thing they also do. That sometimes they organize every 3-4 months. They organize one-day program that you have to learn how to cook, how to share. So some of the students they carry from their home, and here arrangement has been made that they can also cook, and this way they can share. This is a school where children from different groups and different parts of India are there. So that is very important that how they can co-share this through cooking and then close sharing. Making children culturally sound, the importance of multicultural exposure. Just now I have cited some of the examples. And then they are also collaborating and writing letters to international level to have some link and to know this. So all together we can say this put in a way that making assemblies that reflect on the national value, storytelling, and then going to the universal level. Making bridges between tradition and modernity. Fostering global cultural engagement. Teaching to value all lives and forms. And 3 important aspects, what we can say, 3H: head, good thought; heart, conscience; and heritage, serving Mother Nature. Always to be linked like this. So it is all practical things going on. And I have tested myself several times. I was so highly impressed that how children are learning and they are trying to make the world something different. Okay, so so these are the whole structure, what is going on. I have not shown you all the statistical information. We have all that for the last 5 years. I've just given you the basic aspects going on in practice. Here are some of the examples, how the founders, they are celebrating. Okay, the different level of, you can see the different cultural things. Here is a Christian, here is a Muslim, here is some family, here is Telugu, here is local. And this way, all together. So side by side it is going on, and then all together, they meet together. This is a typical example of that multi-level cares. And the typical example, they have tried to start with that one class has to select a particular corner in the school and they have to preserve that for plant. So you have to plant and you have to say, here is my tree, here is my plant, and you have to take care. So these are some of the examples you see in the lower side. You can see easily, this is not maintained by school, but maintained by the children. Some lecture program that like here you can see my lecture based on the culture and heritage of Kashi and other areas, and then meeting together. So here is a group celebration together. So 4 or 5 type of cultural aspect all meet together. Then you can see that when you are there, they are singing some song. So one is here English, then Hindi, then 2, 3 languages. And then ultimately the same theme in different languages. That is another example. And based on the traditional ancient folk tales, or what we call mythology, some of such drama also presented in the school. That is a regular feature. Some of the specific day, like I have already mentioned, Happy Father's Day in the left side, right hand side, they also celebrate Happy Mother's Day, Happy Children's Day, Yoga Day. They are doing the yoga and then trying to experience and co-share all those experiences. Happy Earth Day, then World Wildlife Day. So whenever that day is coming, like Earth Day, then something related to the Earth phenomena you have to highlight and experience. So every afternoon, so it is about 3 o'clock, 3 to 5 and 6. So you can say 2, 3 hours, that particular aspect. In that way, you have to discuss, share, exhibition, dialogue, film show, etc. Like Worldwide Day, here is Water is Life. So World Water Day, then practically some program that students go to the holy river Ganges, Gangaji, and they clean that. So it is like 2 things, how to purify water and how to clean the water. So practically students selected the area, they go there, and then you have to write down a small report, like diary, maybe 1 page, what you felt, what you did. So what is your aim and perspective for the future? This is another example. Here is a type of competition. A topic is given on a particular day, like Vivekananda Jayanti celebration in honor of the great philosopher. So they have to give a speech, and then there will be jury boards to decide that which came first, second, third, and then what to be done further. Not only this, under the guidance of particular teacher in the city, they move on a particular day, some festive day they select that, and they move with such posters that our main duty is to clean the city, make it happy, make it healthy, and make the city well educated, what you call deeply educated, not the education in terms of certificate, but deeply educated, type of awakening. That is another movement they always do like this. And this way that gives impression that education is not only just sitting in a particular building block, rather than to be part of the society and do something program related to cultural awakening. This is a heritage walk example. They have to go, one teacher is guiding, the rest is students, and then they have to perceive the whole idea, think over that. Background is already given. Now they have to write how to preserve, what to see, what will be the future, what is the use of heritage in the present context. These are some of there is a special day also once in a year that is involving RWYC based on the whole philosophy, what they have done. Then my duty is just to watch everything, see the report, what is the practical thing. So there is also a special arrangement for RWYC to see all these activities. So these are some of the theoretical philosophy that I have not to say. Let me just close down. I think 1 minute more. Okay. So here is a broad theme, what philosophically we are following with the RWYC. Culture will save the world through vision, understanding, and practice. So let us come together. We say together we can win. That is the whole philosophic idea of Olimpia Niglio, that we can do like this. So this is just to say thank you very much. Grazie mille. Danke schön. Dhanyavad. Makashihi. Arigato gozaimashita. Like this. And here is the whole march, that how the route is going to make. And this way, just to remember, Asian ancient Silk Route, the history goes 2000 BC. Now, UNESCO has just last year, 2022, they have recognized this whole Silk Route as a part of the heritage inscription in the world list like this. So this is the whole thing, that what is practical. This is just like a laboratory for the human service and cultural awakening. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Rana Singh, sir, for that inspiring presentation. Was showcasing how the W.H. Smith Memorial School in Varanasi nurtures young minds through culture or values and education for life. And I'm sure that your insights beautifully reflected the RWYC's vision of awakening compassionate, creative, and socially responsible youth, and also contributing to the Indian knowledge system. So, as we now come to the last presentation of today's session, it is my pleasure to invite Ms.Aditi Misra from India to deliver her talk on RWYC Asia, India Impact, the DPS Gurgaon story. Ma'am, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Kumar. It's always a disadvantage to be the last speaker because all of you have spoken so beautifully and eloquently about RWYC. But I think I have a very deep debt of gratitude to Dr. Olimpia for starting this program and for reaching out to several schools. And I think it was a case of fastest finger first because I responded very quickly to Olimpia. And I said, we want to be part of this. Because remember, this came during the pandemic, where all the children and all of us were locked behind doors. And honestly, although we were having classes, we were trying to do activities, but the child's dependence on this was a lot. And RWYC came like a breath of fresh air at that time. Olimpia, my team and I don't have enough words to thank you for creating something so beautiful, which was there, and yet we weren't using it. So going back to our culture taught us so many things, and I want to just encapsulate quickly in about 15 minutes because I think we are running a little behind time. So can we start the presentation, please? Ritu?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
So for us, the RWYC was, of course, it's a part of our education system because around the same time we had the coming of the NEP, the National Education Policy, which talked about linking knowledge with practice, with making it more sustainable, more real for the children. So all of us are now using a lot of art inside the classroom. So teaching mathematics through a song, teaching sound of physics through Jal Tarang maybe, teaching the periodic table through a rap song, teaching history through dance. So this was part of our philosophy to that culture and education stand as inseparable pillars of meaningful learning. Without this, there is no meaningful learning. And the method, reconnecting with your culture, inspires educators to instill pride in the local identities while cultivating a deep appreciation for global diversity. Keeping this in mind, the collective endeavor has been to open new horizons of exploration for our young learners across the world, and as we take pride in being part of this shared journey of like-minded educators and leaders. Next slide, please. So about us, a little bit about us. We are part of the larger DPS family, of which there are more than 200 schools. DPS was set up in 2002, and we believe in holistic and inclusive education, where we want every child to be heard and felt and be allowed to reach their full potential, which need not be academic. I mean, in India, the general misconception is that we are only running after marks. That's not true anymore. In the past 10 years, there's been a sea change in how we teach our children. Our guiding motto is service before self. So we like to serve the underprivileged, the marginalized. Our pedagogy is mainly emphasizing on academic excellence, innovation, and meaningful community engagement so that everybody rises together. We also believe in global citizenship, which is why we have exchange programs with 5 schools across the globe, and we learn from each other. And sustainability and accessibility is one of our cornerstones where, as a certified green and blue school, we integrate environment stewardship and inclusive design into every aspect of learning. Next one. Our school, like I told you, was set up in 2002. The strength is 5,671 children. The student-teacher ratio is 1:20. Our vision is to create safe, inclusive, and globally connected learning environment. Our strengths are innovation, collaboration, and strong community engagement. Our core values are integrity, empathy, creativity, and resilience. The global engagement involves active participation in 5 international collaborations and exchange projects that promote cross-cultural learning. We run a Shiksha Kendra, a school for the underprivileged, in the same premises after the morning school gets over. So we have children coming from nearby homes, from nearby places where people cannot access good education, and we offer them non-formal education to these children. We today have about 2,200 children as I speak to you. And what has been very heartwarming is that we have, I think, managed to touch the lives of many children who would otherwise not have had an education. So a lot of them have gone into college. Some of them have got good jobs in big companies. And I think that is what the entire globe needs, that all of us should take the hand of that one person who cannot reach there on their own and help them move forward. Next slide, please. For us, the RWYC journey began in 2021 when the MOU was signed in June. But Olimpia ma'am and I were in touch with each other from 2020 onwards. Our first project was Heritage in Conflict. And in 2022, we organized a program called Goonj. Goonj in Indian means echo. So we want the same love for our culture, love for our heritage, for our traditions to be echoed in all those who are part of this journey. We've participated for 3 years in the Angels Drawing a Picture, which is a program which is started by RWYC, and we send our paintings to Japan. And I think the children take great pride that their work is exhibited outside their country. We've had the RWYC Goonj in 2022, in 2023, and last in 2024. We hope to have it this year as well, later in the year. We also have had in 2025 connecting art exhibition called Connections, where we invited paintings from across all the schools that we are in touch with. And we had a great response with people, with children, young children writing back to us and sending their artwork. We are part of a network of 12 schools across India, and we plan to increase that in the next year that comes in. The next slide, please. The Asia logo designed by the art secretaries and the student council has a very beautiful blending of architectural styles from across our area. So the logo represents unity in diversity and the power of art and education coming together to help individuals reconnect with their heritage while embracing global understanding. The multicolored strokes radiating from the top left signify creativity, diversity, and cultural vibrance. Each color reflects a facet of world culture, whether it's art or heritage, music, dance, architecture, and theater traditions, all connecting to form a unified whole. Its curved dynamics design suggests connection and continuity, symbolizing how culture evolves, is passed down, and is constantly renewed. The next slide shows you the infographic logo for India. This is a very typical puppet pair from Rajasthan, but we use puppets not just for entertainment, but also for teaching. Because when a puppet says something and it appeals to the children, it becomes so much more meaningful. These are very colorful, so they attract the child's attention, and they are deeply rooted in India's folk art and culture. Next one, please. One of the first things that we did was cultural expression with the collaborating partners within India, where the devotional song was sung by all the schools connected. This song is called Vaishnava Janato, which was a favorite of Mahatma Gandhi and was released on the birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, 2nd of October. Rana ji mentioned that day is a very important day. It resonates with everybody who is in India. And since Mahatma Gandhi is no stranger to world leaders as well, I think it rings a chord there as well. This was the first cultural collaboration in the month of September and was released on 2nd October in 2021. The next thing we did was, again, this was music, so now we move to dance. There is a very famous dance in India called Garba. And it's a very festive dance and danced across in there are parts of it in Gujarat. Then there are some part of Rajasthan. So Rajasthan also has Garba. But having said that, I think the joy that Garba brings, we have it being danced now all over the country. So we invited all our participation schools to dance the Garba. Let the children have a great time. Let them celebrate not just dance as such, but dance as a way of celebrating life. Because again, please remember, 2022 was the year where we had not really finished with the pandemic. And this gave a chance to children to at least get dressed, come out, dance, and show their happiness in some way. The third project that we had was designing jewelry within India, inspired again by Indian traditional and folk art. In this segment, students explore diverse Indian folk and traditional painting styles such as Madhubani, Kalamkari, Tanjore. And inspired by these rich artistic traditions, they created unique jewelry designs reflecting creativity and cultural depth. And these were exhibited on our websites as well. The most interesting one came next, where we had cultural expression with the collaborating partners of India, and the project was called Granny's Home Remedies. Do you remember the time when we didn't really have medicines all the time? It was Granny who brought out something from her kitchen, and we felt better immediately. You know, if it was an upset stomach, we got some soft to have. If we had a headache, then some camphor was burnt in the room, and we started feeling a little bit better. If it was a stuffy nose or a bad throat, you got turmeric with milk. Now turmeric is sold in little capsules. But in India, turmeric is used all the time for everything. So this was a very interesting project because it did many things. Firstly, it got children thinking. It got them talking to their grandparents about what was used when there were no medicines, when modern medicine had not entered our homes in such a big way. And I think we all agree that Granny's remedies are safer, definitely, because they're coming out of the kitchen. And this was a flip book created by my team led by Sapna Dhawan, Mamta Kumar, and a lot of other people who are part of the project. They're here sitting in the conference also today. Our next one was the Goonj project, which I told you about, where we invited the neighboring schools to come and perform traditional arts. We don't want to see modern pop so much. That is there anyway. We can't wish it away. Pop music is there, pop dances are there. But how do we go back to what was there? So I think this was something which all the schools also appreciated, that we wanted them to be part of something that is going into the past, where and we also invited our international partners to attend the online events and participate, again going back to their own cultures. Our first international project was in 2022, Ambassadors of Culture, which again, thanks to Dr. Olimpia, we got involved, where children made beautiful integrated subject projects in geography, maths, history, art, language, and science. This interdisciplinary endeavor integrated academic learning across diverse subjects, fostering deeper awareness and appreciation of India's cultural legacy. And the 3 students who participated, their work was selected for display at the Biennial at Venice Biennial 2021. And the theme was Heritage in Conflict. We did another thing in Heritage in Conflict where we asked children, next one please, to copy from the famous artists. So we had a student, this is a very famous painting called Bani Thani. Bani Thani means all dressed up. So one of our students copied Nihal Chand's work, and I think it was a commendable copying, in fact. Continuing the art expression, we had RWYC inviting our students to participate in the Angels Drawing a Picture, which was, again, we sent lots of exhibits, and they were exhibited in Japan. And you can see these paintings over here. These are the works of children from the age of 8 to 17. And I'm sure you'll agree that this work is quite commendable. And this is what actually RWYC has done, that giving a platform to our children to find expression and show it, you know. The next thing was the Amakusa pottery, which was a themed art exchange exhibition, again hosted by RWYC Japan, where students of young classes 1 to 5, these are children who will be 6 years old to about 10 years old, they participated in this pottery fair exhibition, and they designed plates featuring artwork that reflected Indian culture and wrote heartfelt messages for Japanese children. Again, very, very typical Indian and very beautifully Japanese as well. You can see some of the pictures in the next slide as well. And the next one. This is the one I was talking about, Connections, which was an international art exhibition hosted by DPS Gurgaon in collaboration with RWYC, where we had 200 artworks by students from Armenia, Italy, Indonesia, Japan, Morocco, Poland, and India. And these were all put up and shown to various schools of the city to come and watch. Because, you know, when children see other children's work, there's a lot of inspiration and they also get back to delving somewhere in the past. These pieces that were exhibited reflected shared human emotions and experiences, revealing deep cultural connections and the power of global collaboration through art. We also had an art installation over here by the art department led by Madhumita ma'am, who you can see in the picture. I think she's in the symposium as well. Now, when we think of the impact of what RWYC has done for us, it's of course promoted cross-cultural dialogue through art, storytelling, and shared heritage. It has empowered students to become cultural ambassadors, expressing identity, creativity, and suggesting a way forward. It has strengthened global partnerships across the collaborating countries through inclusive participation of all kinds. As we reflect on this, art emerged as a universal language, bridging traditions, emotions, and shared values across borders. Each submission also reflected not just talent, but a deep connection and pride in the country's heritage and tradition. And the journey reaffirmed the role of education in nurturing empathy, pride, and global citizenship. Going forward for us, we want to expand the RWYC collaboration across the communities and the country. So we want to integrate heritage education into everyday learning through exhibitions, exchanges, and storytelling, and continue to empower students to explore, express, and preserve cultural narratives with purpose. One of the most imaginative and the most beautiful events we had as part of RWYC was the Gurgaon History Festival, again hosted by Gurgaon. And it was conceptualized to explore history through culture, weaves, and monuments. Because, you know, culture is not just music and dance. It's also our monuments. It's about what you wear. It's how you behave actually and how you behave around these monuments. So through the exhibition and performances, students showcased lesser known monuments from their local areas, blending research and creative expression. And the good thing that happened was that a lot of monuments that were lying in disuse suddenly got a new lease of life. The archaeological survey noticed them. Some schools came forward to look after them, to preserve them, and ensure that these stay for years to come. Because honestly, the only way to move forward is also with your eyes to the back, because we are who we are because of the heritage we carry with us, because the collective wisdom we have with us, and the kind of culture that has come about to make the globe what it is today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aditi Misra ma'am, for your inspiring presentation and also for sharing how the DPS Gurgaon is leading RWC's mission across India and beyond, cultivating cultural pride and global awareness among your own students as well as connecting with the rest of the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And as we have just concluded the last presentation, and I think with 2 to 3 minutes remaining, I would like to open the floor to any comments or additions from our participants or esteemed speakers before we move to the formal vote of thanks.
Very simple thing I have to propose that based on all these presentations, we can have something like a summary form, because recently with the collaboration of Dr. Kumar, we are presenting a report, academic report for the RWYC, Olimpia, and Kumar and I am also associated. So that will be good, that this example for Africa, India, and Indonesia, Somalia. So that can be given some space there in the journal. So I think Gireesh can write to them that could you please just write down in a simple way their contribution. Maybe you can say 2 pages. So maximum maybe 500 words, so that that can be integrated into a shape, and their names also be given as a credit that this is based on today's seminar. So after this whole provoking, that can be go in the record. So that will be good idea, and this is just my very humble submission to Olimpia and Gireesh, both, if they can accept it.
Definitely, sir. Definitely, we will be able to do that. And as we have done the last time when we asked the comments and the activities from all over the world, and people have made their constructive comments, how we can move ahead and how do we propose many new things like new initiatives. So altogether, we will be able to connect with this, and that would be a good report, and this can be referred to others also. Thank you so much for your comments. If anyone would like to add.
I thank very much all speakers, and I am very happy to know the development of reconnecting with your culture in a different country, above all in Indonesia now, and in the Somalia and Ethiopia. I consider these meetings very important, because thanks to these meetings we know more about the development of this pedagogical program in the different countries. And I thank very much also Professor Gireesh Kumar, because now, thanks to his presence in our university in Pavia, we are working very hard to organize very well many information about reconnecting with your culture in the world. And also I consider very important meetings, direct meetings. For example, Indonesia and Japan was an interesting experience for students and also for the teacher to know more, no, and to know very well these different culture. Please, Mira, if you want to share about us more about this experience.
Okay, thank you. Here is Aya also appear in the Zoom. Aya, can you tell also about the experience, our experience in Japan? Actually, the first day we come to Fukuoka, we go to Amakusa for the next day, and Amakusa is a beautiful city, like Olimpia ever go there. Amakusa is very different with the Tokyo. Amakusa is a very beautiful city. We go there and we're living in the Aya's friend house. This is a guest house for more than 10 people. So we're living in one house together. And tomorrow we create program. We go to the FGD also. We do a focus group discussion. This is very important thing also. We bring 4 speakers from our side to talk with the Japanese community, to talk about the culture in a very different perspective, from psychological, from pop culture, from also the social media culture. This is FGD is also important. And after that, we do the performance. We go to visit the school, Rionan School in Amakusa. We see the interconnection between children from Indonesia and from Japan is very authentic. They don't know each other. They cannot even know their own language, but they interact so closely. At the first meet, some Japanese children and our children even hug to each other. Some like old friends, not meeting for such a long time. This is very beautiful interaction, Professor Olimpia. Actually, I'm and Aya also go to the festival in Simoray. The name is Simoray. This is the same. In fact, this is the same festival that we have in West Java. They call Sisimai, and in Indonesia we call Sisingaan. So it's based the same lion and the children. This is a very important finding actually between us. If we not go to the Amakusa, maybe we never know that we have a shared this culture for such a long time. That's the beautiful of our trip. And I'll send the video to Kevin, so Kevin can share it to the RWYC networks. Thank you, Olympia, for the opportunity, and I hope I can have an opportunity to go to another country also to bring my children and to know the other children, maybe in Africa or maybe in India and also in Europe or Canada.
Exactly.
I think thank you also for Aya for all the contribution, all the collaboration, and we both crying actually, Olympia, to see everything goes very smoothly and successfully. Thank you so much for everyone.
I hope to organize very soon meetings also in Africa, because it is important, very important for us, this dialogue with the African continent and also with Latin America. And we
yeah.
hope, absolutely. We hope to organize very soon this great opportunity. But now I invite all to participate in our next intercontinental exhibition, because from 2021 we organized the intercontinental exhibition in Japan, where all countries reconnecting with your culture participate in this great event and supported by the national government in Japan. And all this year, our exhibition start in January with the 3 sites in Tokyo and 1 site in Sapporo in the north. And I invite all to participate, to send the drawings of the children in this great exhibition. And now I wish you all the best. And I invite Professor Kumar to close our meeting. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. As we come to the close of this inspiring session, it is my privilege and pleasure to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to all who have made this morning or afternoon so meaningful and enriching. First and foremost, I express my sincere gratitude to all our esteemed speakers, and also Professor Olimpia Niglio for setting the tone with a compelling presentation in the beginning on reconnecting with your culture and reminding us of the global mission of RWYC and thinking to inspire us to celebrate and preserve our cultural heritage, and also for encouraging all of us to think deeply about the ways in which culture shapes the identity, community, and a shared sense of responsibility towards the world. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here and giving us all the support let me admit one more person. To formally make our vision and mission going ahead. And next, I formally thank Dr. Assefa from Ethiopia for his insightful reflections on children's culture and its role in shaping sustainable communities. And thank you so much, Dr. Assefa, for being with us and accepting our invitation. Thank you so much. And also Dr. Mira Sartika from Indonesia for sharing your valuable lessons from Indonesia, and also your recent visit to Japan and sharing the cultural differences as well as similarities and also the activities, and also your interest in visiting the other countries to promote RWYC activities. And thank you so much even for reminding us how cultural exchange strengthen our shared humanity. And I would also thank Mr. Abdiwahab Ahmed Ali, who is a young chap from Somalia, for his deeply moving talk on healing and reconciliation through heritage in Somalia, and truly inspiring to hear from one of our RWYC youngest voice. So thank you so much. Formally, I would also like to propose my vote of thanks to Professor Rana P. Singh sir from India for his inspiring account of youth awakening programs in India in association with the schools and showing how education and heritage go hand in hand. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation within your busy schedule. And thank you for being us with this important occasion, sir. And also, I would like to thank Aditi Misra ma'am from India, though she is now in UK, and taking all the pain in the morning to wake up and then having her lecture for highlighting the impactful work of RWYC in India as well as the DPS Gurgaon in nurturing cultural pride and global citizenship. And each of you has enriched our understanding of how reconnecting with our culture can empower the communities, build peace, and inspire a more compassionate and sustainable future. Thank you so much from bottom of my heart. And I would also like to thank all the participants and attendees who have joined in our session with enthusiasm and interest. And your presence and engagement really make this session worthwhile. And finally, to all our speakers, thank you so much for keeping your presentation within the time schedule, 20 minutes of time frame, and helping us to stay on schedule. And your cooperation ensured that everyone had an opportunity to share and reflect, and also the last 3 minutes comments and the additions to our program. Thank you so much. And on behalf of the organizing committee, RWYC, I extend my deepest appreciation to everyone involved for making this session a success, and also for University of Pavia, Italy, for giving this platform for hosting this session. Thank you so much. Thank you once again, and let us continue to reconnect with our cultures and with one another in the true spirit of RWYC. Thank you very much.
Bye. See, please,
Bye-bye. See you.
let's in touch. Please.
Bye.
Ciao.
See you.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you so much.
See you again in the next
Thank you.
opportunity.
Stay safe. Be well.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Bye, Rana. See you soon.